Thank you. It's great to see you all here today. Welcome to Claremont Graduate University, and especially to our annual Mormon Studies Conference. My name is Patrick Mason. I'm the Howard W. Hunter Chair of Mormon Studies here at Claremont Graduate University, and also Dean of the School of Arts and Humanities. So in both of those capacities, I want to welcome you here to campus. I'm thrilled that the university can host this event. It's been our tradition since we started the Mormon Studies program here to host a conference every year. And I know that many of you have attended our previous conferences, and we're really excited about this year's lineup of speakers. Before I introduce the actual conference itself, I want to talk about a couple of logistics and also offer some thanks and gratitude. So just in terms of logistics, you probably all saw it, but we do have some refreshments and water and lemonade in the hallway here. So if you need something like that, then please do take advantage of that. And then the restrooms are just in the hallway as well, and to the right. There's a sign out there, so you should be able to find them. But obviously take advantage of that if you need to. I also want to take a few moments to thank all the people who made this conference happen. I'm the one who gets to stand up at the podium here and take all the credit, but as you all know, events like this happen because of a lot of people working tirelessly behind the scenes. So I do want to recognize them for their incredible efforts. So first of all, Chase Kirkham. Chase, if do you want to wave or stand up? So on the very back. So Chase is a doctoral student in the religion department. He's my research assistant. And he has been invaluable in helping with the logistics of this conference, especially helping with all the speakers, and doing all of this while completing the final revisions on his dissertation. So really grateful to Chase for all that he's done. Also, right in front of him is Alita Wenger. Alita, do you want to stand up and take some credit? So Alita is our Director of Development for the School of Arts and Humanities. And when it comes to the Mormon Studies program here at CGU, she is the Hamilton to my Washington, or sometimes I feel like it's the other way around. And she joined the staff here at CGU a couple of years ago, and she just brings so much energy and enthusiasm, but more than that, professionalism and skill. And she's just a terrific coworker, and I'm grateful for all of her efforts. We also have an unbelievable event staff here, and they're standing here at the door. So Melissa Fitzpatrick and Paul Roach, and we have others here at the university. There are a million little details that go into a conference like this, and they're so amazing at their job that I think I only know like 100 of those details. They just take care of all of the others by themselves. I stopped into Melissa's office yesterday. I said, "How's it going?" She kind of smiled and said, "I'm putting out a lot of fires, but I'll tell you about the fires next week." But I'm grateful. We just have a terrific and professional staff here at the university and within the School of Arts and Humanities that makes it possible for the faculty to advance the university's academic mission. And I'm grateful to our terrific events staff. And finally, last but certainly not least, I want to thank all of our donors and supporters. We are here quite literally because of the incredible generosity of many community members whose financial contributions and time and talents have made possible the Howard W. Hunter Chair of Mormon Studies, which was established about a decade ago now, and then have also continued to provide funding for student fellowships and for events like this. We try to make our events free and open to the public, but of course, they don't come at no cost, and it's through the generosity of our supporters and donors that we're able to do things like this. As many of you know, the Hunter Chair in Mormon Studies was the first fully endowed chair in Mormon Studies anywhere in the world. And it was made possible because of the support of many people from the Howard W. Hunter Foundation and the Mormon Studies Council. We have several of them here. If you're on the Mormon Studies Council, either past or present, you want to wave your hand, and we'll thank you for all of your support. Okay, so let me now introduce the theme of our conference, Toward Global Mormon Studies. Mormons and scholars of Mormonism have become accustomed to the observation that there are now more Mormons or Latter-day Saints outside the United States than inside. That statement is both true but also contestable, depending on how you count and how you define a Mormon. But regardless of the details, what is certainly true is that the expansion of Mormonism beyond America's borders has far outpaced our academic understanding of that phenomenon. That global Mormon studies represents the next phase of Mormon studies, and yet still represents a major gap in our understanding, is widely accepted within the field. And so I'm genuinely excited to bring together over the next 2 days a group of scholars who have begun to pave the way in moving this research agenda forward and have already taken important steps in filling that gap. So we're going to hear from their research, and I think this is going to be really exciting. This conference was organized as a kind of informal and preliminary kickoff for what we hope to establish here as the next phase of Mormon studies at Claremont Graduate University, namely a Center for Global Mormon Studies. So if you come here to our website, mormonstudies.cgu.edu, you can learn all about it here at the Global Center. We haven't yet raised the funding for the center, but we're confident enough in the vision and feel a sense of urgency for the need for greater understanding of global Mormonism that we decided to take a leap of faith and to begin the conversation, confident that the financial support will materialize. I'm almost at the point where I start conversations with people with, what do you know about the Center for Global Mormon Studies, and would you like to know more? 5 years ago, in this very room, we held a conference called Directions for Mormon Studies in the 21st Century in honor of the career of Armin Moss, who is with us here today. Ultimately, that conference turned into a book of the same title published by the University of Utah Press. One of the panels that we had in that conference was dedicated to the study of international or global Mormonism. And one of the presenters, a noted Belgian LDS scholar named Wilfred de Caux, laid out a research agenda for future scholars of global Mormonism. And I think Wilfred's remarks remain quite valuable to us today, and his challenge, and really the research agenda that he laid out for us, is still mostly unmet and unfilled. De Caux asked a series of questions, which I want to put before us today and enhance with a few of my own. And these are the kinds of questions that scholars in the field are asking, and I think that we'll be considering over the next couple of days, over our 4 panels and our keynote. So is Mormonism best understood as an American church or denomination, a global religion, or a world religion? What strains will be encountered between a largely white, conservative American membership and the remainder, both in the United States and abroad? To what extent do church members experience the church as American and view Americanness as an attracting or repelling factor? To what extent does the strong pro-US stance of many American Mormons and their strong public identification of Mormonism with America affect Mormons abroad? What can we know about Mormons around the world? How do they compare with American Latter-day Saints and with their fellow citizens in their respective countries in terms of education, employment, income, literacy, health outcomes, marriage and childbirth rates, and other measures of well-being? So how do we understand the demographics of global Mormonism? What are the costs of membership, as Armin Moss has written about, for Latter-day Saints in various areas around the world? And how do they navigate those social and cultural tensions of being a Latter-day Saint where they are a distinct minority? What boundary markers define Mormon identity in various places around the world? Is there a common identity shared by all Mormons worldwide? Are there or could there be different national or ethnic Mormon identities? What would Romanian or Filipino or Ghanaian Mormonism look like? Are localized and even Balkanized variations desirable? To what extent is actual unity achieved through external uniformity and compliance to centralized rules, such as those within the Handbook of Instructions? And to what extent does the obligation of uniformity stifle local vitality and creativity? As many wards around the world have become melting pots of nationalities and of people from different socioeconomic backgrounds due to the kinds of converts that the missionaries bring in, how do wards and stakes cope with such diversity? How do long-time or pioneer members of the church in their various regions deal with the constant inflow and outflow of recent converts? How is Mormon identity being passed on to younger generations in each of these countries? Does Mormonism look different in the second or third or fourth generation in a country? And how does the pioneer generation feel about these changes? Is there such a thing as a gospel culture, as some general authorities have spoken about? Is gospel culture really just a euphemism for a colonial Wasatch Front culture? To what degree does the common phrase, "the church is the same all over the world," do violence to the diversity and distinctiveness of local cultures and people? Can the Mormon appropriation of, accommodation with, and integration of cultures around the world include more than just language and food? Who decides which customs are either kept or left behind when converts join the church? Can Latino members celebrate a quinceañera with an appropriate church service in the chapel, similar to a Catholic Mass, which would normally be celebrated at that occasion? Can Congolese members conduct the funeral procession to the graveyard with jazz accompaniment and dancing, a communal expression in the face of death? Can Spanish members organize a variant of midnight Mass on Christmas Eve at the local LDS chapel? Can a convert from Catholicism keep a statue of Mary and light a daily candle? Can Haitian members make altars and leave offerings for the Loa or spirits? How does ancestor veneration in Africa or East Asia resonate with LDS doctrines of redeeming the dead? To what extent does a rejection of local customs and traditions encourage an outlook of rejection towards society? What is the effect of knowing and speaking English on Mormon identity worldwide? Are there aspects of Mormonism that remain impenetrable to non-English speakers? How do linguistic choices in scriptural translations affect Mormons' ideas and theologies in cultures around the world? To what extent can a conversion to Mormonism in 19th century England be compared to one in 21st century Nigeria? To what extent are the processes of conversion to or defection from the LDS Church similar or to or different from what happens in other religious movements? Is disaffiliation from Mormonism fueled by the same dynamics in Sweden, Botswana, and the Philippines? How do local church authorities cope with dissenters, doubters, or alternate voices? To what degree do doctrinal, historical, and cultural concerns among church members in North America and Europe resonate with members in the global South? And what are the local variations of Mormon proselytism around the world? What strategies are effective or ineffective in particular locales? And in what ways is Mormon expansion affected by local and national customs and laws which define religion and also the limits of religious freedom? So these are just a few of the questions, and I could keep going if you wanted me to, but I won't. But these are just a few of the questions which are before us in the field and which actually help shape this conference. And so after setting this ambitious and expansive research agenda, 5 years ago, Wilfred Decaux concluded his remarks by asking, who can do it and how can it be done? Well, I think the answer to those two questions begins right now, as I stop jabbering on and allow the scholars who are the real experts to take the stand and begin to provide us with illumination on these important topics. So with that, let me welcome you once again to Claremont Graduate University. Thank you for your attendance and your participation, and declare this conference officially open. Thank you for being here.